August 1987, 30 years ago, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers teamed up with John McTiernan to give us one of the greatest action movies of all time, Predator. Now, my review this month, my rewind review will be Predator. This obviously follows the story of a group of commandos that get sent to Central South America, fucking exotic places, and they get hunted by an extraterrestrial warrior predator. And for people that don't know or haven't seen Predator, would know the concept. It's quite a big concept. I think it kind of goes hand in hand with Alien, and people understand what it is, and people have seen, I think, at least little bits of Predator or Alien versus Predator or along those lines. And people that might hear it and might just think it's some cheesy run-of-the-mill action movie. And honestly, that's probably what it should have been. If you put Arnold Schwarzenegger together with a crazy alien warrior thing, it's not necessarily going to be a great blockbuster film, but it ended up being quite successful and ended up being quite, well done movie. And it's great. I'm going to put that out there from the get-go. So, when it comes to action movies, there are a few things that you talk about, action, characters, and story, and the main three things you talk about when you talk about an action film. Score comes into play, cinematography comes into play a little bit, but you don't talk about character development, relationships, comedy, nothing really like that. And that's kind of a reason why I'm not a huge action guy. A lot of the time, movies just rely on pure action to be great, and it doesn't necessarily always intrigue me or bring me in to a level that some people other enjoy. I've got one mate specifically. Although there's a few mates that are kind of will enjoy it nonetheless, but there's one mate that just eats up everything action, and anything that has action in it, they'll love it. I'm not that guy. I'm a guy that to have a good action movie, you've got to have a really good story with it, and you've got to have really good action and characters that draw me in besides the action, because the movie has to be better than the action. Because honestly, every movie can have great action. Atomic Blonde had fantastic action. The movie I didn't necessarily love, but this movie definitely does focus on the action. It is definitely action heavy, but in a different kind of way. For one thing about this movie, they do it so well with the cinematography. They show the action scenes so well and so perfectly, and you kind of get pulled into this scenario, and you don't actually see the predator for a lot of the movie, and you don't actually see what's killing these people because it's camouflage, it's disguise, and majority of the people get wiped out before you see the thing at all, which is crazy concept for a movie called Predator where you don't actually see the predator. And I really enjoy that. I think they did a really great job of not giving it away, and it becomes a really intense kind of thing. They kind of leveled it up and go, okay, we're gonna have these guys killing them all, but what can we do to really intensify things? How about we not show him until basically the end? And I really enjoyed that part, and the action scenes, the cinematography were fantastic, and the score just added a whole other element to this movie. I think that was a big part of the movie. Was it had a classic action score that was really intense and really get it in, and it really brought up the scenes. That's what a score has to do. It has to make the scenes better, and it did. And the other elements, the characters are very iconic. Dutch, being Arnold Schwarzenegger's character, is very well known. And very get to the chopper. Everyone kind of knows that shit, and one of his very well known roles. And the other characters in this movie, fucking sexual Tyrannosaurus and guy talking about fucking pussy jokes the entire time. They're definitely very funny characters as well to have on screen, and you get a laugh out of them, and you enjoy seeing them on screen, and they're good characters to have. And I think that's what really worked well with it as well. And the story, you don't really know much about the predator. He's hunting him down, and then just it's a spoiler, but it's been 30 years. As I said, guys, there's a rewind review. I shouldn't be able to spoil the rewind review, guys. It's been 30 years to this month while I reviewed it, and it was August, and I was like, okay, let's do it. So if you get spoiled by this, I'm really sorry, but come on, lift. But I mean, at the end, when he could have killed, the Predator could have killed Dutch, could have killed Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it decides, no, I'm going to square out this motherfucker. And it gets off, takes off his shit, takes off his helmet, let's go, bitch. I mean, that's fucking crazy. Like, that is a well done bit. Like, this alien, like, this extraterrestrial thing decides, nah, I'm going to fuck this cunt up. Like, I'm not going to take him out right now. Let's go. Let's fucking do it. And you know what? Props. It's squared up. And, you know, it's a very iconic movie. And the biggest thing about my rerun reviews, and a reason why I give A+ on them and F's on them, because I can see them more than once, and I can see if they stood the test of time. And this movie definitely does. It is definitely, I'd say, a definite top 10 best action movie of all time. I mean, top 5 for some people. I mean, you know, Die Hard, you've got 2 Aliens, 2 Terminators, Indiana Jones, you know, Raiders of the Lost Ark, you know, Dark Knight. I mean, people can consider that a comic movie as well. But, you know, you definitely see how iconic this movie is, and see how, you know, some of these things that happen. You're like, yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, you know, this is what I expected. And it could have been a run-on-the-mill, shitty action flick, and it was a lot more than that. And I give props to John McTiernan and Arnold Schwarzenegger, everyone involved in this movie, for not just making a bullshit run-of-the-mill action movie that people might love to the day and have a lot of fun with, but it's not going to be great. But they didn't. They made something great and better than that. I'm giving it an A. You know, people might be, you know, questioning, I don't give A's too often, I had to really put this movie up. And then other people might be like, you know, you said you'll give A+ to great movies. You didn't say anything bad. The only reason this movie isn't getting an A+ is because of my personal love for action movies. A movie I'll give an A+ to will be a movie that I love and I can rewatch and rewatch and rewatch. This is a fantastic movie nonetheless, but I don't watch it as much because it's action, and I'm not a huge action guy, so I don't think I can ever really give an action movie an A+. Maybe The Dark Knight, but even then that's Batman, that's comic book movie, so I'm not a huge action guy, as I've said, so it's going to be hard for me to ever give an A+, but you never know. So, you know, it's simple. This is a simple A. It stood the test of time. It did everything right. It took a basic action movie and made it even better than it should have been. So I give just huge props to this movie. I have it behind me right here. Check it out if you have not seen it, and if you haven't, I mean, it's been 30 years, so get your shit on. And I've spoiled. I didn't really spoil it. I spoiled a little scene. It doesn't tell you. I haven't said who won the square up or anything like that, or who, you know, died or whatever. But you know, there you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I do my rerun reviews once a month, and I will be doing them once a month. I did one in July with my friend Jack. We did Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man, made in 2002, and then I missed September because I was just not filming at all in September. Now I'm back. I mean, I missed July, so it was June. And in August, I did this, and September I'll be doing another one. I literally left to the last day in August just to buzz a beat of the motherfucker. So, thank you guys for watching. You guys can keep coming back by pressing that subscribe button. You can like, you can roll the comments below, and of course, have a good one.